Pelicans fall to the Utah Jazz 105-100. Before we get in the show, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about it.
First took away. Jazz possess. Get your money's worth.
Presented to you by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located at 918 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413. If you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Ross, Lito, and 5 joining me tonight. Ross, I guess we'll start with you. You say you were not happy. I mean, there's probably nothing to be happy about losing to a 4-11 team, but go ahead.
Well, it starts for me with the tone you're setting for your team. We've now lost 2 in a row on back-to-back situations where we just don't even address Zion. And I just have such a big problem with this. This is the epitome to me of a situation where you just go in there and you handle your business, right? I get it. Utah's a tough place to play. I get it that we haven't really played all that well there. That to me is more of a reason for you to just go in there tonight, keep the positive momentum that you've built from these last handful of games. Go in there, kick these dudes in the teeth, and get the fuck out of there. Instead, it's almost like we play down to their level by not playing Zion. Like, I just don't understand it. This isn't late in the year. This isn't him coming off of an injury. This isn't any of that stuff. I don't even want to focus. I don't even want to talk about the other shit with the game because I think it's unnecessary. I think it's pointless. Like, they're shorthanded, we're shorthanded, but we're shorthanded on purpose. Like, it to me doesn't make any sense given where we're at in this point in the season and the positive momentum you've built to just go in there and risk giving a game away for no fucking reason.
A lot of people have some thoughts on this 5. What are your thoughts on sitting Zion? Do you think it was the right move?
I mean, it seems like it was already predetermined, right? Like you knew that he's not going to play those back-to-back early. All right. It's kind of what you should have won this game. I understand Ross's sentiment here. Like, come, into this game, punch a team in the mouth. Like, they're down. They'll quit early. They'll lay down real quick if you do so. But you gave them life. And to be honest with you, my problem is the guards. It's forever going to be that with this team. Like if you don't have a good guard in a game like this, you're not going to win. You could tell by the first 5 minutes, the rampant pace they were playing at, throwing the ball ahead at every chance you got, just because you don't have a guy to be like, nope, slow down. You get there. You go here. We're going to run this. JV's open, and we're going to know, we're going to go through him. No, you don't have that. You don't have a guy like that. And miss me with the 6 steals. Miss me with that shit. Miss me. Because you can, like the Pelicans were last year, you could be rated 6 in defense and not make the playoffs. So I get 2 shits about a guy having 6 steals. I don't care.
Because he had 5 turnovers. He had 5 turnovers.
You know what bothers me the most? He doesn't even want the ball. He doesn't even want the ball. That's the issue. That's the true issue. And that's the reason why Jose has to play in certain minutes and he's he's still trying to get back into. So I give him a little grace on this. But the guy that you're giving the ball to doesn't want it. So move on. Give Herb the ball. Allow that to be the pace that you're going to run. Like, I'm tired of watching bad basketball. I'm tired of it. Because it's like I want to hold this team to the standard that they set. I'm tired of watching it. I'm tired.
Yeah. Lito, it just kind of dawned on me when 5 was talking about guard play, but JV couldn't close tonight. We couldn't close with JV. Did y'all we were struggling offensively. I'm not saying he had a great night, but you clearly could tell, probably with 6 minutes left in that game, they were struggling to get buckets, right? Like, Brandon Ingram was kind of forcing some stuff. Herb was forcing some stuff. He only got 26 minutes again tonight.
Yo, 5 was talking about guard play, and that's real. But one of the problems is he was talking about creation, but you don't have. It's like 2 people on the team that can make an entry pass to the post. Like it's hard to get a guy like JV involved. Like if he comes down, he rim runs and gets position early and nobody passes him the ball, I only have 3 seconds, dog. I can't stay there. Then I got to reset, and then I'm never going to see it again. But I want to say Ross is right as far as like his Zion spill. But dog, like you ain't even need Zion for this. Like you shouldn't have needed Zion. They got players on Utah who started. They're not even real NBA players. Like they got dudes. Who the fuck? What's dude name, man?
Fontecchio?
Who the fuck is that
You
dude?
butchered it.
Who?
I don't. I've never heard of him. What is his name?
Fontecchio.
Fontecchio. I'm sorry.
We let Chris Dunn, who has not been a good NBA player like since his inception in the NBA, look competent tonight. And that says a lot about our guard play. It was like way too much Jose for me. And like that third quarter, Jose. Go ahead, Ross.
But that's my point. That's my point. That's my whole point. Is it because we're not that good either without Zion. Like, and it's okay to say, like, we're making fun of their guys, and we're running out a rookie. Bless his heart. I thought Hawkins shot the shit out of him again tonight. But we're playing a rookie. We're playing a rookie 40 minutes. We're playing Herb and Dyson, who very good defensively. Dyson was just god awful offensively. I've never seen a player more confident and under control and savvy, but just high IQ defensively, and so unbelievably bad tonight offensively. But that's just that's your starting lineup. I mean, so it's not like we're running out the dream team out there tonight either. Okay, like I think with Zion, you beat the ever living shit out of these guys, and the game's over at halftime. I think without him, you leave the door open. I mean, Five said it. Everybody wants to point to, well, you had this big lead. I thought we played like shit in the first half too. We didn't play good basketball in the first half. You got lucky with them turning it over a lot, us being the beneficiary of that, and Jordan Hawkins catching fire. Okay? Well, what happened in the second half when Jordan Hawkins didn't make 6 threes? We scored 35 points. We were awful offensively tonight. Awful. Hands down. Like, I just don't understand why. I can't get on board with giving games away. Yes, we should have won the game without Zion tonight, but we gave a game away, in my opinion, before it ever started. We made it even. We said, oh, you know what? Let's just make it even tonight. And I just can't get on board with it.
You're right, Ross. Because teams like Golden State, Steph Curry can take off games because they know, this guy should be able to take off game because, he's won something. Like, they know, like, all right, when I come back, like, this is how we're going to do things. Like, we can actually steal a win here. The Pelicans shouldn't get that grace. Like, you shouldn't have that opportunity to.
They've won one playoff series in the last decade. Like, let's be real about this.
Zion said it. He's like, yo, we haven't won anything. Like, you haven't. You haven't. So why feel like, even if it's limited minutes, like, bro, roll them out there, get this game over with. And maybe, just maybe, you don't put people in positions like they haven't learned or earned that right to do so. They haven't. Like, you have. My last thing.
No. Go ahead.
You have no creation. That's my real problem. Like, you have nobody that you can just roll the ball out to. Like, go get a bucket right now. Like, no shading of positions. No. It's 1-on-1 at top of the key. Go get a bucket, and you can't do so without a screen. You can't do so.
Can we? And I think Five, that leads to this next question I wanted to ask the whole panel here. And Lita, I'll start with you. Like, so there's 25 seconds left on the clock. Instantly, I start thinking, go for a quick two, foul, extend the game, whatever. All right, so we draw up for a three. I think it's Hawkins coming off kind of an Iverson screen, and then BI coming off a double stagger. We don't get it. At that point, when there's 17 seconds left, 16 seconds left, just attack the rim, go get the quick two. Instead, we start dribbling. We dribble more. What?
Who you want to attack the rim?
No. But hold up. Brandon had the ball. In that certain situation, Utah's they're not gonna they're gonna kind of like let you have it almost. Like, they're not gonna they don't want the 3-point play to happen. What I'm saying though is you have to at least force the issue. Like, Brandon Ingram can force the issue. I just didn't like the thought process of, okay, our first action is blown up. Let's go into just attack the rim. Instead, we dribble and took We didn't even get a shot off. Dyson Daniels traveled.
I'm gonna be honest. It was, in my opinion, two things. I don't know how Hog got to be the one to shoot that for me.
But they tried drawing off and like they kind of denied it.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. He got to be the one to shoot it. Dyson fucked the possession up, in my opinion, because he was open the first time and didn't shoot it, and then that kills possessions. And like
he didn't want to shoot it, just like how he didn't want the ball.
I was texting Chris during the game and like, bro, he got phenomenal all-world defensive player. It's incredible the amount of confidence he has on the defensive side of the basketball that I just wish would transfer. The first sign of adversity, he picks up his dribble, and that is, to be honest, that is the clear signs that you're not a guard. If there's any position like who should be used to adversity, who should be used to guys being pressing you when you dribbling the ball, it's a guard. He is not a guard. Stop putting him in these positions to do these things. And thirdly, this is my last point before I let Five go. I know like Zion got the rest, and y'all were talking about the standard for Golden State and shit, and like totally. But like, was Zion the only one tired? Was he the only person tired? There's nobody else that played tonight tired?
That's the other reason I don't like this bullshit, because there's a net effect of what you're doing to the other guys every time Zion has to sit. We keep talking about Dyson Daniels. Dyson's played great the last handful of games. Why? This is why lineups matter. Why? Because he hasn't had that level of, hey, Dyson, create the offense. Hey, Dyson, even initiate the offense. Any of that. Why? Because all of his minutes have been with Zion and Ingram and Herb and mostly JV. That's not what he's being asked to do. And it just pisses me off. It really does, because all we're focusing on, I'm pissed off Zion didn't play. And I'm not blaming Zion. It clearly was a scheduled day off, which I think is also dumb as shit. But it's the fact that Brandon went down hard a few times. Like, it's just what you're doing to everyone else. I would rather you go into this game and be like, hey, these two dudes are going to play 15 minutes. Like, that's it. Like, y'all got 15 minutes to not play with your food, get this game over with. It's the fact that on back-to-backs, you're just not letting this one guy play. Like, if you're going to punt the game, punt the shit. And let Brandon's missed as many games over the last few years as Zion. Let him sit too.
Right.
Brandon logged 35 minutes last night, 37 tonight. Dyson Daniels logged 36 last night, 37 tonight.
Brandon played great, by the way. I just wanted to say that. Like, I thought Brandon had a good game.
Five, do you want to say? You want to add anything?
I really hate it. I hate like stupid guard play. I hate it. And we're gonna talk about the last possession for sure. But when you're a guard and you see that the play is dead, when you see that they have everything, this is the time where you have to create. That's like, it's not. You can't be a millisecond behind or half beat behind on the pass, because that allows the defense for a guy like Brandon, because Brandon, he ain't shooting with contested threes at this point yet. He's not like off a catch and shoot, like he's not there yet. So you have to really lead him with your passing. And the fact that he was standing there wide open and he didn't get the ball, allowed the defense to collapse, and then he had to do a rescreen with Cody and he still didn't shoot. Like bro, this is what you have to know. And that's my problem. Like, stop putting people in positions where they haven't really, they're not gonna do it. They're not the guy for it. Allow somebody else to do it, because it just makes more sense. You don't give that guy the pressure until he earns that, until he plays a way that he can do that, or he can prove himself. But this isn't it.
I just wrote this down, Five. So it was clear as day to me that Dyson Daniels, and it's okay, but Dyson Daniels was not ready to run the one in crunch time when I saw it in Houston. That's all I needed to see. He turned the ball over multiple times. He's not comfortable in crunch time running the one. So why again tonight would you go back to that? Like, as you said, putting people like in position to either succeed or fail. Clearly Dyson's confidence was shot offensively. It was shot. Like, you could just clearly see it. And yet we still start the last possession with the ball in his hands, initiating. Doesn't give the ball to Hawkins, gives the ball late to Brandon, And then when he sees things are blown up, he doesn't attack. Like it's just,
You know, it's almost
frustrating.
kind of like, you know, 5 said yesterday, and I feel like we've been kind of harping on for the last year and a half. Like, let Herb run the one.
Why not let Herb run at the end? Like clearly he's playing with so much confidence too. Like, oh my God.
In the last 2 or 3 possessions, right before that, the possessions that got you back in the game when you were down 8, mind you, were high ball screens, Brandon and Herb. They were immediately doubling Brandon. He was kicking it to Herb. All right. Yes, one of them, Herb tried to flush on the dude and he missed it. Fine. It was a good attack. The next one, I think we get a bucket. Like, what was wrong with that? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, we ran the same out of bounds play that we ran, you know, a couple possessions before that got Hawkins to look and he made the 3. I get it. They obviously were prepared for that.
I think what you're saying, Ross, is the key, right? Like, go high ball screen with Herb and allow Herb to go play 3-on-2. And if they collapse, like, you can get if they collapse, then I get a Hawk corner 3, which is a high percentage 3, or even a Dyson corner 3 because he actually shoots that at a decent clip. Like, those are the things that you trust. Yes, don't put people in positions that they've already failed at. They've already failed at it. Like, until you run it in practice enough where you feel like, okay, all right, he's there. And there's no way you've had that much practice in between Houston and now to be like, yeah, he got it.
You had a key word or key phrase, double team, pause. So why couldn't you do exactly that, right? Where, okay, there's 25 seconds left. That's a lot of time. So you just run the screen, you give it off to, or you screen for Brandon, they double, you get off to Herb. You're playing 4-on-3. So either you're getting an easy layup at the rim, or which usually happens because a lot of basketball teams do this, they collapse because that's what they're taught to do. We've done that multiple times, and then you kick it out for threes. Instead, we tried going through Dyson Daniels again, and he's just not a crunch. He's not a point guard right now. He's not a crunch time point guard at that. That's what I just
be a point guard.
And that's fine. And look, that's your opinion. And us three, and I'm sure Ross has the same opinion. I don't think he's a point guard, but why are we trying to make him something that he's not? That's what I don't understand.
It's like
we don't have a choice right now. Like,
sure we
just
do.
generally speaking, for the majority of the game, I know we're focusing on the last possession, but like we kind of don't have another choice. And I think when everyone plays, it's fine. But when everyone doesn't play, it gets hairy in these in late game situations because guys are now in spots where they're not comfortable.
When do you think go ahead.
They never play. They never play. So that's the other thing.
It's one thing to be hurt and not play. It's another thing to be fucking healthy and not play. Like,
whoa. Then we open up a whole can of worms. Like, hey, like, this is like a thing where guys are put in position where they're not normally or suited for, and they have to try to excel in it. Like, we've seen this movie before. We've seen it 1,000 times. It's not just this season. This is not the data that we've getting like, the Houston game, Dyson was bad, like, or he turned the ball over. I'm not saying it just because of that game or the stretches of game I've seen. I'm talking about the whole litany of games I've seen. Like, all right, he's just not there yet, and that's okay. I just don't want these guys to continue to put him in that position to fail.
Right, because it's got to affect his confidence. It's going to affect his confidence long term.
You've seen it. It just doesn't fucking work. I don't know why you keep going back to it. It's insanity. Sorry.
I just want to ask one thing, and I guess it's more of a thought and less of a question, but I do want to hear your opinion on it. Is when you think about the really good teams over the last 10, 15 years, whatever, right? Like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm trying to win 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row because that built, even though people are always asked to do things throughout the games, right? Like, I mean, you're going to play 10 guys, 11 guys, whatever. But when you get on a winning streak like that, everyone is involved. Everyone feels it. Everybody's confidence grows. Everyone, all 12. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to get on a streak like that because everyone then feels the obligation to play up to a certain standard. We've won 9 straight. We ain't going to lose on my back. If you win 9 or 10 straight, people can you now deserve a day off. You've earned a rest day. We've earned scheduled days off. And everyone is going to play at a higher level because of that. Think about how many times you used to watch the Warriors and teams like that play, and you'd see Sean Livingston have a great game, or you'd see whoever the fuck backup come in and play great, right? Dante DiVincenzo, who are all these random ass dudes. It's because there's now a level of expectation. There's a level of excellence. You've won a bunch of games in a row. Everybody's confident. Everyone. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we trying to get there? Because you could be there right now. You could be there 6-7 wins in a row. Instead, we're doing this thing 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like, what the fuck is that? Do we not want to win games? We're 500. Do we want to win? Answer that question. Do we want to win?
I think we want to win, but let me answer a question with a question, because if the goal is, a lot of y'all, and myself included, have said our goal is for Zion to play 60 or 65 games. And I know, like I said, but that was said by a lot of us. So if you're looking at it and he takes off a back-to-back and we're, in February, we're looking back on, do you think this will be that big of a deal? And I'll answer my own question, because it is, because I can't tell how many times we've missed the playoffs or higher seeding by 1 or 2 games by losing games like this. Last year, it happened with Houston in the last couple of weeks. This year, it's been Utah. Like, I think we're at a point where every game for us matters, because we've never been there. And so that's why it's frustrating. But I see a lot of people, Lito, say that, look, the goal is for Zion to play 60, 65 games. What would you say to those people about this type of off day?
Basketball players play basketball. The man is 23 years old. He's 23 years old. I really don't understand I see people saying you keep him healthy now, so what happened in Philly don't happen. Okay, but he was in shape when that shit happened in Philly. He was actually in shape. He was hooping. That was just some shit that happens. You can't. Every injury is not created equal. Every injury does not have a rhyme or reason. Injuries happen, but like at 23 to be missing back-to-back games, dog. Y'all call it however y'all see it. I'm just never gonna agree to it. I think it's egregious. I think it's so Dyson 20. Can he miss games
in November? In November.
Bro, the season just started last month.
In November, how many times have people said the best way to get Zion in shape, the best way to get him playing his best basketball is for him to play? He's coming off his best game of the year.
Does Jonas have a schedule miss?
Jonas doesn't miss games. He just doesn't miss because he don't want to miss. 5, go ahead. What you got?
You know what? I wouldn't even feel played about him missing this one, right? It's fucking Utah. They got in at 3. He shouldn't have missed the Houston one. Like, that's the one that always, like, why? It's a short trip from New Orleans. Like,
Houston.
Was it Houston that he missed?
No, he missed
the home game against the
T-Wolves
or whatever.
Oh, the T-Wolves. Sorry.
T-Wolves. Sorry, T-Wolves.
Another game
Houston
we would have won had he played.
Okay. No,
wait, he missed Detroit and Minnesota. Detroit was
the baby joint. One of them was him having a kid, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with that, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
No, obviously,
right.
yeah.
Whichever
I'm
one.
Positive it was the Timberwolves on a back-to-back.
Yes,
okay, so
at home.
See, like that game. All right, that's the one that kind of pisses me off. Like, don't miss one. It's a home game, right. You slept in your bed. Like, you didn't have to travel. It wasn't that crazy. Like, yo, those games you need to play. This one I can understand. You get in at 3 a.m. You're
3
in
and 4
Utah.
nights, Utah.
Yeah, it's Utah. Fuck. It would have made sense, right? If you just, took care of business, it just would have made sense. Now, I get it. We keep harping on like Zion not playing. You see it. You know it's happening, right? But if you're the other guys, and I think about the Jose, the Najees, the Dysons, the Hawks, the litany of guys that played tonight, like, this is an opportunity to take advantage. I thought, like, Hawk came out, I was like, yo, no matter what, I'm shooting this shit. I don't care. It's going up. That's what it is, because there's shots available. Zion's not here. Well, fuck, I'll shoot him. And it was just opportunities to see growth. If you look at a guy like Dyson, like, there was an opportunity to see growth. Like, yeah, I didn't need him to score 15 points tonight. No, I just needed him to lead the team and take care of the ball and make sure guys are in positions to be successful. Like there were so many times where Jonas was open or Jonas had a mismatch and nobody gave him the ball, or they got the ball and was like, oh, I saw you, but I'm not going to pass it to you. Like, or you just don't know how to make an entry pass. Take a two dribbles to your left and throw a dime. Like, bro, that's the part when I even said this yesterday on the pod. This is going to be the test that I was going to be like, okay, is this team really good, or they're just going to keep falling in the same trap? Are you going to beat the teams you're supposed to beat? They failed that tonight.
Anybody? Go ahead, Leo.
Again, to five and Russell's point about Zion, like my whole thing is like, again, you shouldn't need him to beat food cheddar cheese, whatever whatever the fucking name is, the guy who you butchered initially. Like you shouldn't need him for that, bro. Like, and this is the thing, right? Like, I can understand, like, first quarter, whatever, y'all getting blown out, you tired, like, you know what I'm saying, jet lag, legs, cool. But you was in the game leading in the fourth. Like, that's why you losing me at it. We talking about, like, scheduled losses or, oh, well, they not supposed to. Bro, you competed the whole game. What is it about competing the whole game? And then the fourth quarter, you was just like, oh, you know what? Fourth quarter with like 4 minutes now. Oh, we can't win this. Like, you continuously lose Kelly Olynyk, the best shooter on the floor.
Defense. Oh, jeez.
I have no idea. And I don't know whose fault. I don't remember whose fault it was. But, like, man, it was a mental lapse top to bottom, coaching-wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, players on the floor, it was just a mental lapse all around, man. But again, I gotta continue to shout out Brandon because Brandon did his thing. He was attacking the rim. He was taking contact. Pause. He was just, he was being very aggressive. He only made 1 3, but I mean, again, Five said nobody else to create. Nobody helping other people.
I don't think this is a conversation for a separate day, but like, I don't know that I agree that we're better than them without Zion. Like with everybody we have missing, like I don't think we just walk in there without Zion, without CJ, and without Trey, and without everybody. Look, I don't like if that can't be the expectation because that's unrealistic. Like it just is. Like on the road, all the situations we just talked about, second night of a back-to-back, short, shitty night. You get in at 3 a.m. Like our bench tonight is Larry Nance, Najee Marshall, Cody Zeller, and Jose. And I actually thought Jose and Cody Zeller played really good games. But like that shit don't scare nobody. Like look at their bench. Their bench is better than ours tonight. No question for me. Walker Kessler came off the bench for them tonight in his first game back. Olynyk, Colin Sexton comes off the bench for them. Taylor Horton Tucker comes off the bench for them. Like those guys all played like 25 minutes tonight. We got to be careful about falling into this like, well, we could have won that game where they weren't like, we are not like, we might like the smell of our own shit, but it's still shit. Okay. These guys aren't any better than anybody else's backups. They're not.
Ross,
that's just a fact. The guys, we're not.
This is the old adage, or not, I wouldn't say, more so like, let's say the last like 10 years of thinking. No, this is the last 10 years of thinking. Hold on, tight. Potential. Like this team, everybody keeps, saying that this team has a lot of potential, right? Like the talent is there, right? Like, but they haven't won anything. But we're so used to seeing teams be good and prove that they're good. Not say we're used to this team, the New Orleans Pelicans, Hornets, proving that they're good for us to believe it. No, we've seen other teams prove like, yo, we're a good team, a consistent team. We're going to beat teams we're supposed to beat. We're going to, night in, night out, compete, play a certain style of basketball that is conducive to winning. We have yet to see that. And for some reason, fans or, people in the media continue to give them the benefit of the doubt. They don't deserve it. They haven't earned it. I said it again. I said it yesterday. Like we are right to, get on this team, pause, like, be assertive about our opinions, because based on what we see and what we think, like, there is talent here, but guys, you should be better than what you're showing. What's the disconnect here?
Consistency.
I think you listen. It all really goes back to 5 point, and this is the thing I was saying about Zion not playing, Ross. Like, you have an offensive identity, you keep doing the same things you were doing regardless of who's playing. He didn't play tonight, and it felt like we were kind of. And that's a very good point you made about Dyson playing with Zion and Dyson playing with Herb and the rest of the guys. I just like to, like, in my spiel with this, bro, you shot more free throws than them.
Mm-hmm.
You had more assists than them.
Mm-hmm.
You had less turnovers than them. You had more steals than them. Sound like the recipe for a win is all I'm saying.
What about rebound? How many more rebounds?
You know we not
We got
not
crushed on the board.
52-42 for them.
And what was the 3-point game?
We were like 10 for. Let me see.
I think we shot
So
like
I'm saying though
25,
is
we
that.
shot
So what I'm
terrible.
saying though is that they had more rebounds and they made more threes. Usually that depends on free throws. They make more free throws than us.
We made more free throws.
How many free throws?
No. I'm sorry. You're right. They did. There was 14.
So you lost. You lost in
14.
rebounding, free throws, 3-pointers. You lost by 5. You deserve to lose. 100%. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday.
They scored 37 fucking points in the fourth.